Imagine a quiet morning where the house is still and the world outside hasn't quite woken up yet. You're standing in your kitchen, the steam from your coffee rising into the cool air, and you feel a soft, silent brush against your ankle. You look down to see your cat, their tail hooked like a question mark, looking up at you with those deep, unblinking eyes. In that moment, you might reach down to offer a quick scratch or a bit of kibble, believing you've fulfilled your role as a provider. But as you pull your hand away, they might simply walk to the other side of the room and begin to groom themselves, leaving you with a lingering sense of distance. You provide the food, the shelter, and the safety, yet there is often a quiet, invisible barrier between your world and theirs. We often assume that love in the feline world is a grand, static thing, something that simply exists because we are the ones who fill the bowls and provide the warm beds. We view them through our own human emotional lens, assuming that what brings us comfort must surely do the same for them. But for a cat, love is not a status, it is a daily practice. It is a language composed of tiny, repetitive rituals and psychological signals that most owners overlook in the rush of their own lives. There is a deeper layer to their devotion, a set of subtle habits that can transform you from a mere roommate into the absolute center of their universe. Something deeper is happening in those small, mundane moments of the day, and if you know how to navigate them, you can unlock a level of intimacy that few people ever truly experience. To truly bridge the gap between two different species, you have to look past the obvious because the real secret to a cat's heart is hidden in 5 simple things you must do every single day. It begins with a ritual of the eyes, a concept we often misunderstand because of our own human social rules. In our world, direct eye contact is a sign of honesty, attention, and connection. We are taught to look people in the eye to show we are listening. But in the animal kingdom, and especially in the world of a solitary hunter, an unblinking stare is the mark of a predator or a direct challenge. When you look at your cat with wide, intense eyes, you might think you are showing them affection, but you are inadvertently creating a tiny spark of tension in their nervous system. And they feel watched rather than seen. The first thing you must do daily is practice the slow blink. This isn't just a physical movement, it is a profound psychological signal of peace. By slowly closing your eyes and holding them shut for a heartbeat before looking away, you are telling your cat, I trust you enough to be vulnerable, and you are safe with me. When you do this daily, you are participating in a sacred feline ritual that transcends species. It is the quietest I love you you will ever speak. Over time, this builds a foundation of psychological safety that allows them to lower their guard. They begin to see you not as a giant, unpredictable force, but as a source of calm. This daily eye kiss is the bridge that invites them into your inner world, showing them that your gaze is a sanctuary, not a threat. But that's only part of the story because their need for connection is tied directly to the rhythm of the hunt, even within the walls of a modern home. What many people don't realize is that a cat's brain is hardwired for a specific sequence: hunt, catch, kill, eat, groom, and sleep. Most owners simply fill a bowl and walk away, providing a life of luxury that, ironically, can lead to a quiet kind of boredom and emotional detachment. A cat who doesn't hunt is a cat who isn't fully expressing their soul. To make your cat love you more, you must engage them in interactive play every single day, but it must be done with intention. You aren't just waving a wand, you are acting as the architect of their instincts. By mimicking the movements of a bird or a mouse, making the toy hide behind a chair or dart across an open space, you are allowing your cat to express their true nature. When they finally catch the toy at the end of the session, they feel a surge of dopamine and a sense of mastery over their environment. Because you were the one who facilitated this victory, they begin to associate you with their highest moments of satisfaction and success. You aren't just a feeder, you are their partner in the dance of survival. This shared activity creates a bond of working together, and in a cat's mind, there is no higher form of social validation than a successful hunt shared with a trusted ally. What many owners overlook is the profound importance of scent syncing, a silent dialogue that happens at the sensory level. A cat's world is built on a complex map of familiar smells, and their sense of security is tied to the group scent of their home. Every day when you come home from the outside world, you are covered in foreign, chaotic smells: the street, the office, the grocery store, other people. To a cat, you temporarily look like a stranger, or at least a version of yourself that is polluted by the unknown, one of the most powerful things you can do daily is to engage in facial bunting or scent swapping. When you allow your cat to rub their cheeks and forehead against your hands or face, you are participating in an invisible exchange of identity. They are marking you as family and reclaiming you from the outside world. By leaning into this and offering your own scent in return, perhaps by gently offering your hand for them to rub against, you are reinforcing the biological bond that says you both belong to the same pack. You are quite literally making yourself smell like home to them. This is the ultimate form of comfort for a feline. When you prioritize this daily scent merging, you are ensuring that your presence always triggers a safe signal in their brain, weaving your identity into the very fabric of their territory. And sometimes the most significant thing you can do is honor the sanctity of silence and the concept of consensual touch. We often approach our cats when we need a boost of serotonin, picking them up or petting them while they are focused on something else, like watching a bird or grooming. But a cat loves the person who respects their autonomy above all else. The fourth daily habit is the consent test. Before you reach out to touch them, simply offer your index finger at their nose level. If they lean in and rub against you, the door is open for affection. If they turn away, stay still, or walk off, you honor that boundary without hesitation. By doing this every single day, you are telling your cat that you are a predictable, respectful presence. You are proving that you will never force yourself into their personal space. This creates a rare kind of trust where the cat feels free to be near you because they know they are never trapped by your affection. Paradoxically, the more you respect their right to be left alone, the more they will choose to be by your side. They love the person who treats them as an equal, a soul with its own agency and desires. This daily practice of asking permission is the ultimate act of respect, and in a cat's world, respect is the prerequisite for love. There is also a surprising part to their devotion that is tied to the shared observation of the world. Cats are highly observant creatures who spend hours watching the movement of the wind, the birds outside the window, or the shifting shadows on the wall. Often we treat this as wasted time and try to distract them with toys or calls. However, one of the most meaningful things you can do daily is to simply sit with them in silence during their watch. By sitting near them without touching them, looking out the same window, or simply being present in the same quiet space, you are engaging in parallel play. To a cat, this is a high form of social bonding. You are acknowledging that their interests are valid and that their work of observing the world is important. You're telling them that you don't always need to be doing something to be together. This shared stillness creates a deep psychological synchrony where your heartbeats and breathing begin to align. It is a quiet, powerful realization that you are part of their pride, sharing in the simple, profound act of existing. This daily moment of shared silence tells your cat that you get them, that you understand the value of a quiet watch and a peaceful afternoon. As you begin to implement these 5 daily habits, the atmosphere in your home starts to shift in a way that is hard to describe but easy to feel. You notice that your cat seems more settled, more present, and perhaps a bit more confident in their movements. You realize that you've been missing a silent dialogue that was happening right in front of you all along. The things that make a cat love you more aren't expensive gadgets, designer collars, or gourmet treats. They are the invisible threads of respect, instinct, and predictable rhythm. You start to see that by aligning your daily actions with their deepest psychological needs, you are entering a rare circle of understanding. You are no longer just a human who lives in their territory. You have become a partner in their silent, beautiful world. Gradually, the relationship evolves from one of simple cohabitation to a deep, intuitive bond. You stop seeing their quirks as inconveniences and start seeing them as expressions of a vibrant, living soul. It's a quiet realization that their happiness is built on the foundation of the things you choose to do. The blinks you share, the hunts you lead, and the boundaries you honor. You've learned to listen with your eyes and speak with your presence, and in doing so, you've given them the one thing they've always wanted: to be truly understood in their own language. Every day becomes an opportunity to reinforce this bridge of trust, ensuring that the connection never fades, but grows stronger with every passing sunspot. Take a moment to look at your cat across the room right now. Don't rush to them and don't demand their attention. Just offer a slow blink, wait for the response, and then return to your day. You might find that in that tiny 5-second interaction, you have done more to earn their love than 1,000 treats ever ever could. When you finally align your daily life with their deepest instincts, the reward is a level of devotion that few people ever get to experience. It is a bond forged in the quiet corners of the home, built on the smallest gestures and the most profound respect. You've discovered that loving a cat isn't about changing them to fit your world, it's about changing your world to fit them. It is a quiet, powerful realization that the most meaningful connections are found in the subtle daily choices to honor another life. And as you sit there together in a house that finally feels like a shared sanctuary, you realize that the mystery wasn't in the cat. It was in the way you chose to show up for them. You are no longer just a person who owns a cat. You are someone a cat has chosen to love, and that is a realization that changes everything. It is the realization that the most profound love is the kind that doesn't need to be loud to be heard.